Hey there, friend. Before you close your eyes tonight, I want to share something with you. Something that might just change the way you think about rest, about sleep, and about those racing thoughts that keep you awake. Tonight's wisdom is simple, yet profound. Not everything needs an answer tonight. Rest is also productive. I know what you're thinking. In a world that never stops, in a culture that glorifies the grind and celebrates the hustle, how can rest possibly be productive? Well, stay with me for the next few minutes, and I promise you'll see sleep in a completely different light. Let's begin. Think about your day for a moment. How many questions crossed your mind? How many problems did you try to solve? How many decisions, big and small, did you make? What should I eat for breakfast? Should I send that email? What if they don't understand? Did I say the right thing? What about that project deadline? How will I pay that bill? What's my purpose? Am I good enough? The list goes on and on. We live in an age of information overload. Every ping, every notification, every scroll brings new questions, new challenges, new things to think about. And somewhere along the way, we convinced ourselves that we need to have all the answers right now, immediately, before we rest. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. Your brain wasn't designed to solve everything in one sitting. Think of your mind like a computer. Throughout the day, you open tab after tab after tab. Each worry is a tab. Each question is a tab. Each problem is a tab. By the time evening comes, you have dozens, maybe hundreds of tabs open, and your system is overheating. What do you do when your computer overheats? You force it to keep running until it crashes? No. You shut it down. You let it rest. You let it reset. The same applies to you. Let me tell you about a study done at the University of California. Researchers found that people who tried to solve complex problems late at night made significantly more errors than those who chose to sleep on it and return to the problem the next morning. But here's the fascinating part. Those who slept didn't just make fewer errors, they actually came up with more creative solutions. While they were sleeping, their subconscious mind was working, making connections, processing information in ways their conscious mind couldn't. Sleep isn't the absence of productivity. Sleep is productivity. Think about the greatest minds in history. Albert Einstein famously said his greatest insights came not at his desk, but during moments of rest. Thomas Edison, despite his quote about genius being 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, took regular naps. He understood that rest recharged his creative batteries. But we've been sold a lie. We've been told that success belongs to those who never stop, who burn the midnight oil, who sacrifice sleep for success. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor. I only slept 4 hours last night has become a strange flex, a symbol of dedication. But what are we really dedicated to? Burnout? Anxiety? Making poor decisions due to exhaustion? Real productivity isn't about how long you work. It's about how well you work. And you cannot work well without rest. When you deny yourself sleep to find answers, you're not being productive. You're being counterproductive. You're like a gardener who refuses to water their plants because they're too busy worrying about why they're not growing, I want to share something personal. There was a period in my life when I couldn't sleep. Not because I had insomnia, but because I was convinced that if I closed my eyes, I'd miss something important. I'd lie in bed, phone in hand, scrolling, searching, trying to find answers to questions that didn't even need asking. My health suffered. My relationships suffered. My work suffered. I was trapped in a cycle of exhaustion disguised as dedication. And then one night, I made a decision. I told myself, not tonight. Whatever it is, it can wait. I'm allowed to rest. It wasn't easy at first. My mind resisted. But slowly, night by night, I learned to let go. And you know what happened? The world didn't fall apart. The problems didn't multiply. In fact, with each good night's sleep, I became better equipped to handle whatever came my way. Let's talk about something important. Choosing rest is an act of self-respect. When you force yourself to stay awake, chasing answers that are hiding in the fog of exhaustion, you're telling yourself that your well-being doesn't matter, that you're not worthy of care, that you're only valuable when you're producing, solving, achieving. But you are not a machine. You are a human being, and human beings need rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not giving up. Rest is wisdom. Rest is strength. Rest is self-love. Think about someone you care deeply about. If they came to you at midnight, exhausted, stressed, unable to think clearly, trying desperately to solve something, what would you tell them? You'd probably say, "Hey, it's okay. You've done enough for today. Get some sleep. Everything will be clearer in the morning." So why don't we extend that same compassion to ourselves? Tonight, I want you to become your own best friend. I want you to speak to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love. Tell yourself, "I've done enough today. I've tried. I've worked. I've thought. And now I'm allowed to rest." Not everything needs an answer tonight. Because here's the truth. Some things don't need answers at all. Some worries are just worries, not problems to be solved. Some questions are meant to sit with us for a while, to mature, to reveal themselves in their own time. And that's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to solve every mystery before your head hits the pillow. You just have to be willing to rest. So let me leave you with some practical wisdom for tonight and every night going forward. First, create a mental closing time for your worries. Just like a shop closes its doors at a certain hour, decide that after a certain time, you're closed for business when it comes to problem solving. 9 p.m., 10 p.m., you decide. After that hour, no more analyzing, no more searching for answers. Second, keep a journal by your bed. If thoughts come up that feel urgent, write them down. Tell yourself, "I hear you. I'll deal with you tomorrow." The simple act of writing it down tells your brain, it's safe, it's captured. We can let go now. Third, practice the tomorrow self visualization. Imagine yourself tomorrow morning, refreshed and clear-headed. Trust that version of you to handle what tonight's exhausted version of you cannot. Fourth, remember this mantra. Rest is productive. Sleep is sacred. I am worthy of peace. Say it to yourself. Mean it. Believe it. And finally, be patient with yourself. If you've spent years believing that rest is weakness, it will take time to unlearn that. Some nights will be easier than others. That's okay. Progress, not perfection. So here we are, at the end of our time together tonight. I hope you're feeling a little lighter now. I hope you're ready to close those tabs, to put down the phone, to let go of the questions that can wait until morning. Remember, not everything needs an answer tonight. Rest is also productive. Your worth is not measured by how long you stay awake. Your value is not determined by how many problems you solve before dawn. You are enough, exactly as you are, right now. So take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Soften your jaw. Close your eyes. And rest, dear friend. Rest. Tomorrow is a new day, and you'll be ready for it. Sleep well.